Hey there, today we're going to be looking at one of our 40mm cable valves. So this is it here, and we'll go through a quick talk on how these fit in. Now these will fit into a close coupled toilet which has a hole in the cistern lid for the button that the button's going to drop through. So if you measure the hole that this drops through, and it's around 40, 42, even to as high as 48mm, then you could use this valve. So that's the button. Now it will also fit on a toilet which has a hole in the cistern which is as low as 18mm. But in that case, this would sit, the hole will go through here and it will end up sitting up, so that all of this silver part you can see here would be above the cistern. So you'd have that sitting above the cistern as you, and your buttons are there, okay, if you have an 18mm hole. Now, this will not work on a non-close coupled, unlikely anyway. The thread here is unlikely to fit. It'll probably be the right diameter, but the thread pitch is unlikely to be the same. So we need to use this for a non-close coupled, which means that the cistern would sit directly on top of the toilet pan, and we have underneath it a couple of wing nuts that hold it on, one on either side. If you have a non-close coupled, what that would look like is the cistern sits up on the wall and there's a gap maybe around about this much where there's a pipe comes down and into the back of the toilet. That is not a close coupled, and this would not be suitable. So just going to run through quickly. These are pretty straightforward to use. Your button simply fits in here. There's a hole in this thing here. You press in this thing and it opens up. That drops in there. You let go of it, and then you can see that working the mechanism. So pretty straightforward cable valve. When we want to take this out, press that again and take that out. Yeah, so just press that in and out to lock that in. The button, if it sits into a 40mm hole or thereabouts, underneath you can simply have this here will go underneath and just screws in. Screws up there and locks in underneath the cistern lid. That will just lock it down, and you put that into your top of your cable underneath there. Happy days. Okay, if you have an 18 or 20mm hole, you put this in, put this on here. That goes through the hole. You have this plastic piece here, goes in and screws in under there onto the plastic, so this is left sitting above the toilet. Okay, it's not too unsightly, it's not too bad. So once we have it in, or rather before we put it in, we'll do some adjustment. You have here a overflow tube, so as the water rises up, if there was a fault with your inlet valve, the water might continue rising and it can start to fall over in here and will run back into the toilet. When that's not happening, when it's functioning correctly, the level for the water should be set around 25mm below the top of this tube, 20 to 25mm. Now you can adjust that by twisting it, which is anti-clockwise looking from the top, and then you can press that up or down, and once it's in position, spin it clockwise and it locks into place. Okay, so that's your overflow tube. Now for other adjustments, there's this little green thing here. This gauges how much water, when you flush, a full flush, the water goes out and it comes to a level where it stops. This alters the level, so if you have that all the way down, that will give the maximum flow down. If you just get your nail in there or a screwdriver and pull that up, that means the water will come down much higher and leave quite a bit in the bowl, so it won't give you such a big flush. if you're trying to save water, that's the way to do it. For your half flush, this is the adjuster for the half flush. Now, I believe that the more you push this up, the more it will flush. So to adjust it, we have to press this button in here, but you have to push it in really hard, and then it will move up or down. Okay, so a really good push on that, and you can adjust the amount of the half flush with that one. Okay, so then it's just a case of taking out your old cistern, which means that you want to first flush the thing, turn off so we first flush the tap. So we first turn off the tap, then we flush the cistern, get as much water as we can out of that cistern, take off the two nuts, the wing nuts underneath. There's a tube which will go to your inlet valve. We take that off, then we can lift the cistern out. There's a good video on how to do this. I'll leave a link in the description, and that's for our Imperial toilets, how you change it over. That shows you how to remove and replace the cistern. Rather than putting that valve in, you're putting this one in. It's quite similar. The only thing to note, this nut comes off the bottom here. This will go through the hole where you've taken your old valve out. This rubber seal will seal on the bottom, so you want to clean around that hole to make sure there's no dirt to damage the seal. When you put this through the hole, then underneath you'll see this sticking out. First your little washer goes on there, and then next thing goes this plastic screw, and that will screw up. And that, once you've tightened that up, you can put the cistern back on and replace everything as it came, and put your button into place, clip it into here with your little thing, clip it in, put your cistern lid back on, everything's done. Thank you, thanks for watching, bye bye.